I'm very happy to welcome you. I will talk a little bit about increasing sustainability in the Volvo Group Tuve plant. My name is Helena Söderberg, and I'm the environmental manager in Tuve plant since approximately 5 years now. A little bit about the presentation. I will try to give my reflections regarding how it was when I started my position, how it has been and what we have achieved so far, and also what we see in front of us from Tuve plant perspective, because Volvo Group is quite big. Tuve plant is located in Gothenburg. Most of you know that. It's part of Volvo Group. It's a quite large assembly plant where we build heavy trucks. We also trim the cabs there as well. The trucks, we have some other markets as well, so we put them in containers and bring them all over the world to 10 different markets. Besides that, we have a frame shop where we produce, we have surface treatment, and make the steel frames out of coils from SSAB. Besides that, we also have customer adaptation. That's quite a large part of our job, since the customers have different specifications and needs. So that's a little bit about Tuve. We're 3,000 employees approximately right now, working day and night shift mostly. In the frame shop, it's 24/7 more or less. So it has got everything: logistics, production, assembly. So yeah, it's interesting. So now a little bit to my background, very short. I have a Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering with focus on environmental health and production system. When I finished my graduation, I joined a chemical company and worked there within the safety and health environment area. In 2001, I joined Volvo Group in product development phases. And in 2008, I entered the Tuve plant. My first assignment was within Lean. So I was manager for the Lean support and our management system. After a couple of years, I became the assembly manager for the packaging, where I told you that we ship the trucks in containers all over the world. So that's approximately like 1/3 of our volumes of trucks. But then 5 years ago, I entered this position. And it's a lot of fun, a lot of challenge. My predecessor, he said, when I joined this role, that you will be very, very much alone. Be prepared of that. Because no one really took care of this topic. He was Albin to everybody. So whenever things got going regarding environment, it was his job. So I was thinking, okay, I would not like to be a solo player over my dead body. I want people to join me in this journey. I can't do this on my own. So I decided that we really need to go for teamwork. And there were a lot of colleagues with me that also helped me out, and we had dialogue and discussions. So together with the communication department, together with my colleagues in the quality department, and also, all of the area managers, the VPS, also Lean support that I also had around me, we came up with a plan more or less together. So using the communication department, we performed a survey. It's not like it's statistical or anything, but it gives some indications anyway of what the status was when we started. We investigated how much do people really know about the environment in the plant. We made some measurements, and it was a little bit so and so. There were different type of questions, but they thought they know somewhere in Swedish lagom, in the middle. When we asked them, how do you feel about the environment? Is it urgent? How important is it? Then the staples are quite high. This is an urgent matter, and people were really wanting to do something. It felt like an important topic, and that's good. But then we came to the do, how to take actions and what happens in the plant. And I'm happy that they at least were sincere, because this was what we felt within the plant on a management team level and so on. The actions were quite low. So the feeling was that we really need to do something, but the output was quite low anyway. And they didn't even know what to do. So what type of action should I do? And they were quite open and frank with that. So out of this result, we decided that, okay, let's take care of the no part, because we know that if people have a knowledge, they have the feeling that it's urgent, then they will definitely perform. So using the communication department and really having a strategy, we set up a communication plan for results, and using the seminars and the department meetings. And as you all know, probably in a production plant, it's, sometimes information takes, it might be like sometimes we need to produce instead of having a department meeting. With short notice, it might be like we replan. But the positive thing about that is that whenever we get some time left and not produce, then we put in information in between. So if we have a good strategy, then we fill it with good stuff. So that's what we have done all the time. We have had a strategy together with communication and given out information on screens, on department meetings, and with a systematic approach. Also during this phase, I said to you guys that I don't want to be alone. And all of the information was actually on my desktop or in my cupboards. It was quite secret. No one knew about the environmental permit and what levels we needed to take care of, etc. It was quite hidden. So we opened up, put it on SharePoint. So everything that I know is more or less available here. So by putting everything into a SharePoint and putting all the documentation in one place, because I found that a lot of time people ask me, oh, could you do this presentation? Could you put this in front of us? And so on. It was quite a lot of documentation for no purpose. Also, when we had trainings, it was like, okay, can you do this training and this training? So a lot of things non-value added. So for people who love lean, I needed to lean my job in order to be more efficient. And so here people can find everything. And if they don't find it, then I hope they let me know. I get some feedback sometimes, and then we put it there. So anyway, it's written in Swedish. It's quite easy language, because we really need to reach the people that it's for. So that's the mindset we've had. Also, I put very much time into data when I started. My predecessor, he's told me, oh, you have to calculate like this, and it took so long time. All the calculations, if I put that together and the corrections that were needed, I think, I didn't count it, but approximately like 3 or 5 days a month. And then I don't include all of the adjustments and all the changes I needed to do. So, of course, I couldn't live this. So I had this amazing guy in the company, Dennis. Everybody loves Dennis into the plant. Lena is laughing because she knows him. No, but he's like a magician. I'm just saying what I want him to do, and then he fixes it the next day. So we have decided on a master structure for very much of the data that is available. And from that master data, he creates different views depending on what people want to see. So it has saved quite a lot of job for me. So now the reporting that took 3 or 5 days, well, we do it in like 15 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm not joking. It's so easy. It's not automatic, so still we have some improvements to do, but it's much better anyway. Okay, so by showing all these graphs, people get to visualize what they need to see. So by that also creating some knowledge. That's at least what we are imagining, and we have some proof of it. Also, we have put very much effort into training and communication, using very simple models. I know there are better models than the triangle there. Someone wants to flip it on the other side, but still, it's a quite easy tool to show people where we're at and where we should go. So we use it quite a lot. And we also use, of course, web trainings, and we have recorded films, etc., for training and communication. So we use a lot of those tools. I told you about Dennis, and this is just one example when I wanted to get some effect, because we are sorting rest products, no doubt about that. We were not great a couple of years ago. Now we'll come back to that. But we have quite a lot of things that we send to energy recovery. And we do that by old habits, I guess, not thinking that we can sort it out so much better. So the yellow blob there, over there, is the energy recovery. There is 0 and there's a lot, so in amount. So every month, the yellow blob is the greatest part of our rest products. And this is just one animation that I used when I had the management team joining one of our Kaizen events, because I wanted to get them to agree upon investing in a melting machine for foam. So it has not arrived yet, but I got an okay for this anyway, because about 100 tons of that energy recovered material that we send to Burnable is foam, and it's very hard to recycle. So I got an okay. So this is one way of trying to use the data in order to get some good decisions. When we come to this was the know part. When we come to the feel part, in order to get people to feel, it's not like it's rocket science or anything. From the beginning, I've tried to reach people where they're at in the roles that they have, making them understand that they are accountable, because they feel it's urgent, but usually when I talk to people, or did talk to people before, I could hear between the lines that they were thinking someone else should fix the things. And that doesn't work. You need to take it upon yourself. I need to take it upon myself. Go out there and get the sleeves up and do the job. And also being the light, or show the light, be the lighthouse for the employees. So accountability among the leaders, as managers, but also project managers, because it's when we have the chance to invest in the product processes during the projects, that's when we can change. So a lot of focus has been put into that. Managers, project leaders, but I also meet all the employees. Every time we get a new employee, I always make sure that I meet them. I might have missed some, but then I'm sorry for that. But I think it's important that the signal is that environment is by far the most important thing, and you can make a change. So not only just leaving their feeling alone that it's urgent, but also emphasizing that they need to take care of the actions show other people how it's should be done. So when we come to the do part, from the beginning, there was no roadmap. It's quite small text here, but this is the TÜV environmental roadmap. It's divided into climate and resources just to be aligned with Volvo Group thinking and strategy that we have within the company. And actually, it's built quite a lot from all employees. So it's not Helena that has made this up, not all of it anyway. But a lot of things that has popped up from different departments is creating this roadmap. So the target is set, and it's quite brave as well. One of the targets in 2025 is that we should be circular. I don't know how I was thinking there, but we're heading there. To be brave and to, I mean, it doesn't matter if you fail a bit. It's just to get going. And we're getting quite far in getting engagement. So it's dynamic, and it's built from everybody. What we also have done is that we have integrated environment more clearly into the organization in different departments and so on, but utilizing the tools that we already have. I think it's quite important not to create new standards or new templates. We have enough of templates, but to utilize what we already have, like the daily meeting structure. So every day, I could say that most teams in the plant now, and there are quite many, both day and night shift, they have the pyramid, the waste pyramid on their team boards, raising a question. Are you circular? Are we circular? If not, what do we do today to take action? So just by having that mindset and training them into this is also making a difference. And also, I must emphasize that just since a couple of months back in November, I got a coworker. I didn't have one resource of my own, but I got a guy called Linus, and he's a team leader, experienced team leader. So he's out talking to people, training people. We have lunch and learn. We have it's sometimes together, sometimes it's only him, and vice versa. But we train them into the team board, how it should be conducted, and also asking them, what can you do today? And some of the teams, they want to do everything. They get really eager, and we try to make them take it a little bit slow. And remember that you have to agree, both day and night shift. And actually, that's a lot where things get stuck. They have to agree. They share the same space, but there are different rules, day and night. So it's interesting. It's a lot about change management, as you probably can hear. Yeah, so that's about the do part. So we haven't made a new survey or anything, not yet, and I'm not sure we need to. I told you when we started that my predecessor said you will be alone, very much alone. I'm definitely not alone. It's knocking on my door all the time, and people are sharing. If we are to produce a film from some area to show good examples, it would be very easy today. The knowledge part, I can go out to quite a lot of people and ask, oh, what do you think about plastic? Where comes plastic from? And they can say, it comes from oil. They didn't know that before. For many of you guys, it's probably quite, you know that already, but it was not common knowledge before. But now they say, there are like 900 different sorts of plastic in the world. So it's really important that we sort them out, because otherwise they can't be used. So I feel that we really have good results. And in 2021, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this, but we were sorting out like 200 kilos of plastic. That is not so good. But last year, it was a little bit improved. It was 22.6 tons of plastic. It was like, I don't remember now, but you saw the pie chart. I think it's like 9 types of different plastic. It's PVC, also polyvinyl chloride, and it's different types of polyethylene, it's polypropylene, you name it, polyamide. And it's sorted. It's sorted on the stations. And it's quite clean. It's very seldom that we get rejections from our supplier that treats these things. And guess what? I said to my colleague Linus, oh, we should aim for 100 tons this year. It will be easy. And he goes, yes, definitely. And we're already up in over 20 tons as April, end of April. So I think we can achieve it. Of course, it's much better to reuse things, but when we get things into the plant, we need to recycle as much as we can. So it's to take one step at a time and be quite happy with the result that we get. Celebrate the achievements and also working on long-term strategies. How can we get more Volvo emballage into the loop? How can we make it reused instead of recycled? Of course, we know that is better. So both working with the new projects that come in and making a better future together with the project leaders and everything, but also take care of what we have inside the plant today in a good way. So I think that we can show that we really have results and we are shaping the world that we want to live in because people are engaged. It's something that they definitely talk about when we come out to the stations. They want to show us things. They're proud. So if you have some questions, I don't know how much, yeah.
I was just wondering if you also measure how much plastic comes into the plant and if it's a target to have less plastic coming in as well.
We don't have any tools to measure how much plastic comes into the plant, but we can see that we have some also emballage plastic on the shelves and how to reuse it, it would be better. So usually we go to Gemba to see and try to find out, but definitely there's quite a lot that we can improve. But no measurements.
Yes, thank you, Helena, for the great talk. I think it's great to see that we have green champions around, really fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a question that is, where do you see the biggest impact that can be done to reduce environmental impact at the Tuve plant?
Where
like the biggest opportunity for reducing environmental impact, whether it's for circular economy or for climate impact, if you see that there's not necessarily a quick win, but an area that is really large for improvement?
Also for the system as such, it has a lot to do with transport. Especially now we have, it's important for the whole system that we produce. And in order to produce, we need the transports, and it's not always that the material is available at the right time, so I would say both transport planning, but also in the fleet, we get some better transport options, like electrical transports and on the railway, etc. So that for the global system from an emission point of view, definitely. But for Tuve plant, I would guess next thing to jump into is the energy consumption. Yeah, but that's also quite difficult because you can't really see it. It's more easy with things that you can touch and feel, and it's concrete. You can see before and after.
Yes, thank you very much for a very inspirational presentation, also getting a lot of people involved. My question is more, you talked about the no thing and how you communicate. Is that available for all the employees? And how are you doing that? Because I think sometimes it challenges to get it to the production operators and so on. Is it available for everyone or?
Yeah, the SharePoint that I showed, it's available for everybody. But of course, when you're standing on, also in the operation, you don't have access to it all the time. They have team computers, etc. So usually when they have free time or they plan some extra time, then it's available. So it's for everybody. If you have like a Volvo account, then it's free for you. You can access everything. It's no difference.
Also interesting with the thing that you talked about the roadmap, that everyone was more or less involved in that also. How do you choose from all the initiatives that is coming?
Yeah, sometimes I have grouped them together and then put like a headline on. And also thinking that everybody should recognize themselves. So, for example, if you're a controller, then there's like a little headline for that, and maintenance, and so everybody in the organization should be able to recognize themselves. Okay?